Deji's a technical guy.
He's the technical guy. He's the social guy. So
Yeah,
anytime
I'm the
if anybody gets
admin.
message of charges to the game,
I'm the admin guy trying to
I
organize
the
things.
boring job, then.
Yeah,
I hate replying to messages. I'm so bad, bro.
I actually kind of enjoy the technical.
VA or something.
That's probably going to be a next step to just get more and more people, because we're literally talking about it. We're watching shits and gigs. They have like people behind that do everything for them, and everything, all the editing and everything is done by the time they leave the studio. So that's like the next step, to have people in here with us, but they're doing the 1-2s. By the time we're finished, done.
Because all you have to do worry about is like podcast.
Exactly. If someone then uploads
You know
it.
how paranoid I'd be sometimes. It's just like, is that camera still recording?
Yeah.
Is that audio okay? It'd be messing me up, bro.
So we'll get there though, inshallah. We'll get there one day. We'll have a whole team.
When did you start saying inshallah?
Soon.
Because of football Twitter. I will say inshallah. So I just say inshallah as well. I have usually we do an icebreaker every week to break the ice. Sometimes it's a question to top 10. Sometimes it's a blind reveal. But for you, I have a quiz.
A quiz.
5-question quiz. You have one lifeline.
I'm low-key scared. What are the questions?
And the questions are like about your interests. Yes. Like, I've mixed and matched pop culture essentially.
Okay.
You have 5 questions. You have one lifeline. Deji doesn't know these questions either.
Yeah,
so your lifeline is ask Deji. Deji can help you out with a
Wait,
question.
is this? Do you put something I'm actually going to know?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because my general knowledge is bad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right, let's go. Question 1.
Wait, before this start, all I know is science and gym. So
Don't worry. Let me ask you this.
He said that's what you
There's
need.
5 questions.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a line. Do you think you can do better than over or under 3.5 correct questions?
Oh, yeah.
Over
yeah.
3.5. So you get 4 out of 5 right. That's what you're saying.
Maybe half.
So 3. That's it. Going to the under. You're going for the under.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, shoot.
How many muscles are in your arm?
Okay.
I googled this, so Google might be wrong.
In your
I'm letting you know now. Don't continue.
Including your shoulders, right?
I said how many muscles in your arm? Did you have to
Well,
Google?
well,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for 15.
Ooh, what Google told me is 24.
24. Okay, I'm wrong. Oh, your fingers.
Yeah.
I was never gonna get that.
Right. Arnold Schwarzenegger won Mr. Universe 3 times. Name 3 movies he was in. And this is it. You can't say movies from the same trilogy 3 times. So, Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
can say like Terminator 1.
Exactly. I knew you would say that.
Just 3 movies. Oh, this is
3 movies that Arnold Schwarzenegger is
Oh,
in.
this isn't too bad.
Terminator 1 is anyway.
All right.
What was he in? I know he's in a few comedies.
Oh, if you want to use your left line, I've got one more that I can help you with. I'm not too sure. I think I have 2. I think.
If you want to use Deji as your life for the
I
Arnold.
swear he's played a dad in some.
Yeah, no, he's
No, he
definitely.
definitely has.
He definitely
I
has.
can't think of what it is, but he definitely has.
Yeah, go on. What's
Expendables.
Expendables is in there, yeah.
Forget that.
What's called? There's this movie where I can't remember if it's him or Sylvester Stallone. They're on. His job is to break out of prison.
I have no idea who's in there.
Oh, it's called,
So you can
it's
name
called,
3.
It's called The Escape or something like that.
Let me see.
I'm curious. What were the 3?
Oh, it could be any 3, but
Oh,
you give up?
That nigga?
Yeah, no, I give him.
Daddy Daycares, I think it's Eddie Murphy, but what you're thinking of, he has Jingle All the Way.
I've never even heard
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Jingle All the
Christmas
Way.
movie,
Christmas movie where he's trying to fight Turbo
I
Man.
hate Christmas movies.
All right, okay.
So random. Like, this is an action movie. Like,
I knew you guys were gonna go for Terminator and Expendables. That's why I said 3, because I knew the third one would be hard to think about.
Because I swear I know that I've seen him in films before. I just can't think of them.
Right. Name 1 group in the periodic table.
Halogens.
Yep, that's correct. Conor McGregor has won the UFC belt in 2 divisions. This is pop culture. Name 1 of the 2 divisions.
As in lightweight and
Yeah.
heavy? No, welterweight?
Lightweight, you named 1. Yeah, lightweight. He won the belt in lightweight.
So what's that? 3 out of 5?
No, he's got 1 out of... Yeah, 3 out of 4. So actually, no, he got the arms one wrong. He got the Arnold Schwarzenegger wrong. He got the Conor right. And then he got the UFC, the periodic table right. Last question. Pop culture, because Love Island ended. Yeah. Where did Dami and India finish in their Love Island season?
To be honest, I didn't watch Love Island. I'm not gonna lie.
They finished 3. But you got 3. What, 2 out of 5? That was not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. How you doing, bro? Anyways.
I'm good.
Yeah, just...
Literally just finished work now, so...
Yeah.
Meetings. I'm tired of meetings.
Do you not feel like sometimes the days full of meetings are actually more draining than the days when you're actually doing your own work?
It is.
Because you have to constantly socialize and you just... leave me alone.
Wait, do you
man.
guys actually talk your meetings?
Sometimes I have to,
bro,
yeah.
I'm you, man.
yeah.
Most of the times it's like it's relaying data to the site and then across collaborators and stuff like that. And I think the role I'm in right now is like a project lead role.
Okay,
so it
yeah,
requires
same.
me to like, I'm the go-to man for
Yeah,
every single thing, like answering questions.
Do you feel like you know what
stuff
you're doing in
like
your role, or you just figure it out as you go?
that. Definitely feel like
Every team has like two
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that actually know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, no,
The rest of us are just kind of like, yeah.
I think what the difference is that like I know how to figure it out. I have
Same,
the connections
same,
to be
yeah,
able to
same.
do so.
I know who to
Whereas,
go
like,
to and I know who to ask.
Yeah,
Those kind of situations, yeah. But anyways, we were outside on the weekend, bro. It was out. You should have been there, man. Outside. First of all, shout out to Chicken and Waffle. I have no idea what that was, but it's a great social place to go. That was. I'm on a stage now. If I would say this, yeah. I used to think I hate being outside. Now that I've discovered, I like being outside at certain places. At certain things. Like, I went Chicken Waffle, I went with Beckley. I didn't know what to expect. And I've never really been out where Beck's, just the two of us, but pure uncle vibes. You're just
Oh, no, yeah, we know.
pure uncle vibes.
What is your vibe when you go out? Do you like to go out like just chill?
Day
and,
party,
yeah.
chill, a few pints,
Look,
get up and
Jordan
do
needs to be
50
home before 10
cents.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like you as well.
Yeah.
I need to go home like 10 and
But
11
I feel like
o'clock.
when it becomes winter, it's gonna be 8 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Because then we went out. I went to the Where's Your Head Out show after, and then these mans were saying we're going to another place after. I was like, bro, I've been out for 12 hours straight. Like, this is time for me to go home.
But you're supposed to be outside, man.
I was outside. I was out for Chicken and Waffle. It's like, it's mad because sometimes we feel like they say everybody knows everybody. We all see each other's faces. But where I went for Chicken and Waffle, like really unfamiliar faces. Really a different crowd. And rumors is that's where they go meet a high-end, high-quality, high-value man.
Is that what you were doing?
That's what they told me. That's what they told me. And then obviously we went to the boys' show. That was class. I want to say, you know what, Akbar? I hear you. In the moment I was watching, I was like, man, Akbar, sit down. But I went back. I said it to Deji. I've been out here shouting, people need to stop worrying about what people are thinking. Don't protect an image you don't have. That boy paid 30 euros and went out and enjoyed the 30 euros he paid for. And that's how people should do more nights out in Ireland.
Is that how you're gonna move?
Nah, I'm not going to move like that. How was your weekend, though?
I was good. I was working. like for me right now, it's just like there's no balance in my life right now. 'Cause,
Okay.
like, I'm at the stage where I'm like I'm trying to get a lot of projects done at the moment now, and I'm trying to transition, as I was saying, from like my full-time job to like fully doing online coaching and fully like getting my platforms off the ground. So I work during the week and then the weekends as well as like online check.
Sorry, bro. Just into the mic a little.
Oh,
bit,
sorry.
please. Cheers.
How do you
It's,
make that? How do you make that decision though to be like, you know what, I'm going all in on the coaching?
Yeah, it's like it's more of like it's my passion towards it. Like
Yeah.
it's something I enjoy to do, and it doesn't really feel like work. And what drives me is to see like the change in people. Like I like to make impact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, it's not really about how much money I make from it. It's more of like what's the impact I'm making, and I think that's been the general feeling for me throughout my life. Even like going into science. The only reason I went into it is because like I just generally loved science and I wanted to make an impact. I knew I had the knowledge to be able to create some drug that could save somebody's life. And I think when I finished my PhD and I was in that kind of like research realm and I went into like more corporate, big pharma situation, it was like it turned from being research-based science into like the business of science.
Yeah.
And like I'm in meetings and I'm talking about the impact of certain things in regards to like how much money we're gonna make, how much yield are we gonna get, rather than like, okay, can we create this new drug to save somebody's life in not this country or not in Europe, but in developing countries, which is what I was kind of, it was what I did my PhD in and what I was kind of like, I was passionate about. So I think now I'm shifting because like I have like a new passion and I have a new perspective. So
Is it scary?
It is. It is scary because there's a certain level of uncertainty when it comes to running your own business.
Yeah.
Like when you're working full time, you have a pension there. You have job security. You have a general progression when it comes to your role. But like when you're on your own, it's like it's you. You know what I mean?
If I don't work, I really don't eat.
Yeah. You don't
But
need-
also, I was
like,
gonna ask, do you have like a specific client that the first time you got that feeling of like, oh shit, you know what, this is actually what I want to do?
Yeah, so my very first client, he was a friend of mine actually, but came to me, like he was like 140 kilos or something like that. His health was deteriorating. He came from a sporting background as well, and it stopped him from playing that sport. And we got to a stage where, you know, we got his health markers in a good place. He lost I think he lost like 45 kilos or something like that within the time that we worked together. And just seeing the impact that had, not only of him like getting back to his sport, but like his confidence through the roof, his relationships through the roof. So that's where like this online coaching is more just like getting people in shape. It's like checking in on how that's impacted their own life. Like, for example, Aqua right now. So this is a very, very, very good example.
Confident young individual right now.
Like, he's unstoppable.
I saw him and I said it to him. I was like, "Yo, if I had this new body, I'll just off top right now.
like-
I'll just off the top right now."
That's a walking advertisement right there.
Yeah, like that's an example. Like me and Aqua go way back. Like we're like very, very good friends, and like just seeing his progression in terms of like the way he views life and like his confidence now is just like that's an amazing feeling.
How did you get into the gym?
So I'm coming from like a similar situation. Like knowing the impact it's had on me kind of spurred me to see if I can make that impact with other people as well. So I came from a sporting background as well. I grew up playing football from the age of like 8. Played at a high standard, played for Shells, played for Drogheda, and it got to a stage where it was like, you know, when you're like 18, 19, where it's either you go pro or you don't at all. That coincided with the time where like I was doing my leaving cert, and like I had like certain family issues that were going on at the time as well. And I think the pressure of everything caused me not to focus on football too much. And it got to the stage where, you know, scouts were looking at me and they were saying like, Yemi, your technical ability is amazing, but like you're a centre half and you don't speak. You know what I mean? You're not confident enough. You're not like, you're not outspoken enough. We need a leader. And unfortunately, I didn't have this like family support. Like, you know, Africans, like your parents don't come watch you play football. Like they're not really invested. But like I wished I had somebody there to be like, okay, keep doing this. You can really make it. You can like. You just need that confidence to be able to step out of your comfort zone. So all in all, I ended up just quitting football. Because, like, I like to say because, you know, I had other priorities like my leaving cert and other things. But, like, if I was to be completely honest with myself, like, I quit. Because it got too hard.
Yeah.
So when
just on that, it got too hard for yourself, or did you like... You didn't have the support around you. Just the overall, every factor. Just put together.
Yeah, because like, if you asked me when I was younger, like what I wanted to be, I wanted to be a footballer. Like I live and breathed football, like 24/7.
Yeah.
Thinking about football.
I've said it on this pod many times. Like, all I ever did was go outside and play ball. All the time.
So like, I think when that dream started to die down, because I felt like, I just wasn't able to be confident. I wasn't able to speak up. I wasn't able to like step out of my comfort zone. I was just like, maybe it's not for me. But like me, if I was to talk to myself like back then, I would say, Jesus, like, you know, just step out of your comfort zone, just do it. Like whatever it takes, just do it kind of thing. But all in all, I ended up like stop playing football. And I was like, okay, I need to take up something, because I was always very active. I needed to do something. So I knew that, you know, I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to get bigger, because it's like, for me, like I was into running, I was into football. So naturally, I was just very skinny. So I was like, okay, I want to build my physique. And so I started in the gym, trained for about like 2 years, and I seen a good bit of progress. And I went from just being kind of a beginner in the gym to being, okay, I want to step on stage and do a bodybuilding competition. And it wasn't because of, okay, I really love bodybuilding, or like I wanted to show off my physique. For me, it was more mental. So because I quit on something before, and I knew that a bodybuilding competition is probably one of the hardest things to do. I'm doing one right now, and like I would say, it's still hard to do. I was just like, okay, for me, for my mental, and for me to know that I can come out of my comfort zone and I can be confident, I'm just going to do this competition no matter how hard it gets. So I did that while I was actually doing my PhD, actually, and the final year of my PhD. So it was very challenging, but I came out the other end of it. And I came out the other end of it knowing that, like, okay, I can't step out my comfort zone. I can't do this. And that process also allowed me to love the sport. So that's why I can continue in the gym and I continue trying to build my physique. And I'm at the stage now where I'm stepping back on stage now to not in the sense of that, okay, I need to prove to myself, or it's more in the sense now that, okay, I'm really good at this. I can do really well.
The point I want to ask is, like, you've mentioned, I think 4 times there that you quit. Yeah. Does that still eat you up now, or have you made peace with it because you're able to go into bodybuilding?
I think I've made peace with it, and I know myself that, like, whatever challenges come my way, there's no way I'm quitting.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's no way. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like when you were there before you were about to quit, deep down, did you think you were going to make it? Did you think that you had the ability to make it?
I did. Like, technical ability. Most definitely.
Did that hurt then? Like, actually give it all?
Yeah, it hurt a lot. And, like, even my manager called me on the day. And, like, I called him being like, okay, I can't do this. I'm going to have to drop out of the team. He called me on the day being like, Yemi, are you sure? Like, people are looking at you. Like, you can do this. But I just didn't have the confidence in myself to be like, okay, I can fulfill this other part of me that I needed.
Well, did your coach, I know you said your coach called you or whatever, but, like, his words weren't, he didn't give you the motivation to keep it?
No, because it was at, like, as I was saying, it was at the time where, like, there was a lot of other stresses in my life as well. Okay. And I think, like, there was a lot of things that caused me not to think right in that specific moment. Yeah. And I think after I just made that decision, it was okay. I was like, there's no turning back now. I just have to kind of...
That's it, but that's the beauty of hindsight, because I know it's hard. You're looking, you were difficult on yourself at some stage, but when you're probably in that moment, being an 18-year-old, it feels like it's the right thing to do. It's only looking back now, you can be like, oh, you have all these information and all these knowledge now. You'd be like, I probably should have pushed myself a bit harder. And let me ask you this, because my love, I used to I used to love football. I'll watch every game, but now I watch maybe the Premier League and specifically Chelsea game. When I knew the dream wasn't what it's going to be, the love for the sport, like, even went down. Did you kind of find a similar feeling, or do you still find yourself ingrained within the football?
It's kind of then, like yourself, I rarely watch football. Yeah. For a United fan and for, like,
someone that played at that level.
It kind of died down a bit.
Yeah, no, I saw it happening within myself as well.
And I did actually go back to football. Like, I did, but I played, like, I went back and I played Sunday League, and I was like, okay, I'm not playing at a good standard, so I just, I just because, like, once you start playing at a poor standard, you become a poor player because you're not challenged. You're playing with people who are, like, I wouldn't say they're bad, but
not the level you're accustomed to.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously, everybody goes to gym for different journeys, and I've said it on many times before. Like, I went back to Sunday League, and I went to play with men. And they start pushing me around, and I was like, I need to go to the gym. I need to start lifting weight because I'm like, right now I'm just too I wasn't so technically gifted I could get away with being skinny.
And the funny thing was like, when I went back to playing football, like, hench, like, I wasn't the same player because I was a lot bigger. I couldn't sprint as fast.
I get you. Do you do cardio though?
I do cardio, yeah.
Nah, fuck that shit. Fuck cardio, man.
That's why you have that video.
I went on the treadmill today again, dude.
Like, people don't know that, like, cardio is, like, if you want to make progress in the gym, you got to do cardio. Because in the gym, I don't want to get too technical, but, like,
I need free game.
for you,
that's why I need free.
For you to be able to grow muscle, right, you need to train to failure. But if you're not fit cardiovascular wise, you might end that set because you're just gassed out. Yeah. And you're not reaching that failure point. So that's holding back your gains.
Oh yeah, that's me 100%. Bro, I started off so strong. After that first set,
I hate that you have to be honest, because I have to be honest with myself. So now it's like, I could have lived in my ignorance. I can do cardio now and again. Like, I leave it up. But now, like, I get it, because when I started going with my friend, he was going more often. Every session, he'll make us do cardio. It's like, because you don't want to gas out. You don't want to get to a point where you're even when I watch a lot of MMA now, they say a lot of fighters lose because they're tired. They just they lose not because they can't fight. They've done the repetition. They've worked hard. They've fought 30 times before. But at that very moment, they just gassed out.
Once you get tired, all form goes out the window.
Yeah. When I was playing football with that 5-a-side thing, I was doing good in nets. I got tired. They passed me the ball. I went to put my foot on there, and it just went under my foot. Because I was so tired. I was like, your brain and your body starts, like, reacting different because you're just, like, out of it now. But
pop an intro.
Yeah, let me pop an intro. Let's introduce who's on the pod. Anyways, and we're here. We are charged to the game. This is the podcast with the highest level of analysis to cultural needs. I'm Uncle Jay, but you mans call me Jordan, and I'm here with...
Unless your girl's favorite voice, Big Deji, nigga with the Midas touch.
And who do we have here today?
Yeah, Yemi's Fitness.
Let's go. And then don't forget, August 26th, Charger Karaoke. More announcements to come. Get your ticket. Links in the description. Links in the bio of our Instagram. We're going to have some of your favorite podcasters there. It's going to be giveaways, competitions, and dilemmas, podcast elements, everything included. Pull up, have a good time.
Games, maybe prizes, you know. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a good time.
No, it's gonna be a fantastic time.
Most importantly, we can be done by 10 p.m.
Actually, what's good this week? Every week now we're giving our karaoke songs. Obviously, it's gonna be a different song every week. But what's your go-to karaoke song?
What did I pick last week?
Can it be any genre? Yeah.
Any genre, whatever.
I'm gonna pick Afrobeat. I'm gonna go soft. I'm gonna go Davido if.
Oh yeah.
Banger.
I want it that way. That's the ultimate white people song, man.
What's good? Nelly and Kelly Dilemma, man.
That's actually a hard song to do in karaoke.
Oh yeah.
I've done it. I've tried it before. It was actually pretty tough.
You know what? There was one time we were just messing around doing karaoke. We're in Birmingham, whatever. Moyo and this other girl, Rennie. They did that as a back-to-back best karaoke performance I've ever seen in my life.
And they hit every bar?
They hit every bar. Bro, David, you know when they're doing storyline and like he walks away and then she grabs him. I was like, wow, crazy. So you guys are talented like this, crazy.
Can any of you actually sing?
Deji says he can
almost
outperform anybody on that day.
Oh yeah. Anybody that wants to smoke, I'm with it. Let's go. I'll
do you know Roz says she's no way you're beating her. She's picking out songs, outfits, everything.
Like, that's cute. Like that's cute. Look, she shouldn't talk too smoky. I'll bring out backup dancers.
You know she can actually sing.
I'll bring backup dancers. Like who cares about your vocals when there's backup dancers? I'll get a nigga to do a flip and I win.
Yeah, no. If someone does if you do March Madness and you flip on the beat, I'll give you the prize. But also, I wanted to ask you guys. Oh yeah, get the tickets August 26th. Let me wrap that up. I wanted to ask you guys: are your mates' beef also your beef?
It depends.
Cause me and my missus were having this conversation because she was telling me you're not loyal if your friends' beef are not your beef, and I'm like, I don't think men see it that way.
Not really. I would say
it depends. It really depends on what the beef is.
Okay, give me an example where your mates beef. Because Jimmy and you did this pod, yeah. So there's certain people that you know I don't see eye to eye with, and there's certain people I know you don't really see eye to eye with either.
Yeah.
I might, if I'm in their vicinity, I might like say, "Hey, what's up? That's cool." Yeah. Back. Am I a disloyal friend if I'm in their vicinity and I acknowledge their presence?
No, that's calm.
I don't think so.
Especially if that's not to do with
Babe. Babe. I know you're not watching, but I'm pointing at the camera. If you're not watching, I told you.
But if it's beef,
yes.
Yeah.
If a guy maybe try to smash my boy's girl, or he knew about it and he tried to do weird shit.
Yeah, you gotta give context to it though.
That's what I'm saying. Not every, because her point of the point of view was like, nah, you gotta back the beef, and I'm like, not really. Context matters.
What if you have that erratic friend that likes to start beef for no reason as well, bro? I can't back you.
He just wants to fight.
Like, have you ever been out with a person that gets violent when they get drunk, and now they're trying to get into Palazzo with everybody, and you just kind of like,
it's not my own life.
Yeah, no, I can't carry and I don't expect my friends to carry my beef, because I don't expect that if I don't see eye to eye with someone and Deji's in their general vicinity and Deji acknowledges the presence, that's known to me. Now, if me and my guy, and I start seeing the two of them being buddy, like hanging out, doing things together, and I don't see eye to eye with him, maybe then I might start like restricting information that I'm telling, for example, Deji, because I don't know what you're telling him, and you might be telling him nothing. But in my eyes, I'm like, you're friends with my op, so I don't want to give you anything that you can give my op.
But once again, it depends. Like if it's just something that I don't really see, like you know the
yeah, no, I know, yeah.
You're doing buddy with him. I don't really care.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Because like. It just doesn't matter like that.
Yeah.
But there's you know that nigga that I said when he dies I'll dance on his grave. Him. Nah. We can't be boys.
That's what I'm saying. The context matters, because I was like, we can't go around backing every beef. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why they just beef that guy. Now I'm here. I might not be again. I don't really want to be mates.
For me, if it's just like you don't like that guy, like I'll still be pally with him.
Yeah, that's
if it's something like if it's something that you've done something offensive to him or to a family or to a friend or something like that, if it's something deep, I'd be like, okay, maybe I should be because if you can do it to that person, you can do it to me. Because
that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't think men see it that way. And she's saying because you're not loyal. I'm like, what you mean I'm not a loyal friend?
But the thing is, like, also, how often do we beef? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's very few times where I've had to think about, yo, do I have to back this?
Yeah, it's sometimes not even beef. Sometimes it's like the content is like, I just don't see eye to eye with.
Yeah, that's you guys' problem.
It's not me. So now if they just doesn't see eye to eye with that guy, I'm in his general vicinity. Now what am I going to do? Just
and what if I've been cool with that guy for time?
Sometimes like I know the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Sometimes that's between you mans over there. Keep it over there in that general vicinity.
That's why I don't like to get involved when people start beefing. Even remember those two that were beefing, the ones that I'm like they're like brothers.
Yeah,
I removed myself out of that situation as quickly as I possibly could. Because what am I doing here?
Is there a situation where you had to back your friend's beef though? Like you had to be like, yeah, I'm gonna take my boy's side over here.
Physically or
no, even like
things that the guys like they don't beef for long. No. It's like the people I know, like it's just like you squash it very easy enough.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like with women it's like
and there's a lot more to beef about. They have a lot more to beef about
because they don't like each other. They don't
women are just mean. Like, and that's why they don't like each other. Like, you know what's funny? If you talk to enough women, I feel like women think
I love
all of them
on this
are more mean than they actually are. Like, girls always think other girls are mean. I'm like, that girl, the same way that you look at that girl, the same way she looks at you.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. They just think they're all bitches.
Yeah. No,
I think that comes from society, though. There's a lot of competition between
100%.
Just due to, like, the social norms for women. So I think naturally, there's going to be beef.
Yeah, I get it, because it's kind of like how they make you feel like there's only room for, like, one or two. So there's sometimes there is only, like, because diversity and inclusion in it. Before there wasn't as many of them in certain rooms. So if one person had the position, it's like, we don't like them at all. So it is.
Let's say you go out with one of your boys. Your guy, whoever your guy is, yours is Chris. Whoever your guy is, like your guy in it. You guys 2-man mission. You guys are just out having a good time in the club. Your boy gets a bit too drunk, and he's moving just very sloppy, and like he's bumping into people.
As a man,
as a man, it's ridiculous, ridiculous.
How you do that?
Funny enough, never mind. But yeah, so he just moving crazy. So he bumps into a group of like 5 men. They surround him now, and it's looking techie for him. Do you get yourself involved, or do you find him after?
Have to.
Yes, but apologetically.
What do you mean apologetic?
Sorry.
No, it's smoky. Nah, there's no sorry about it. It's smoky.
Nah, you have to.
You have to start apologetically. No, because if you go in there, even if it's smoky, you have to start by diffusing.
No, but I'm saying these men are not hearing that.
You have to.
You have to.
You can't leave your mate there.
Just be. Well, they're just leaving.
No, depends on the boy. Because there's some man them that we're cool.
Nah, depends on the boy. Depends on the situation.
It depends if it's an acquaintance. If I just know of you and you're getting into beef, okay.
Oh yeah.
But if you're my friend, if you're my boy,
You know how I feel about all these beef things. I'm of the mindset like just try to diffuse the situation, because again, there's not many settings I go to where people are actually willing to fight anymore. I go to fucking day parties and brunch. The people at 30. That crowd really don't want to fight like that.
Yeah, I think at this age, like people are not really on fighting.
I don't see fights as much as I used to.
Yeah, you missed them.
I was never involved, so.
No, you miss watching them.
Sometimes.
Did you ever fight?
I've never gone and fight.
Even on the football page when they called you the N-word, because I know they called you the N-word.
Oh, like I wouldn't class that as fighting. It's just like pushing each other, and then split it up kind of thing. But
I haven't been in a fight in a minute. I don't want to be anymore. But unless the boys still want that boxing match.
Look, I'm telling you, these boys can catch the smoke.
Then I'm in. But other than that, just allow it, man. Allow all that fight issue.
Nah, yeah. You know what it is, yeah? The thing with fighting that I just don't understand is like, quite beat you up, but after that.
Like them what?
You know what I'm saying?
I would say the risk-reward ratio is so poor. Like, it's so poor. Like, it's like, what they're not paying me to actually win this fight right now. So, I don't want.
You know what I don't like here? Like, if we fight now, can we just leave it here?
Like, that's another thing.
I can't get angry. Because if I see you next time, I might not be angry to beat you like this.
You know, the thing is, then if you're the one that loses, next time they see you, they'll see you with a gang. It's like, it might just escalate. Like, Okay, you beat him up. Now he's trying to run up with you with his boys. Now you have to get your boys to run up. And that's how those, like, back in the days, Blanche versus Tala. One person got jumped, went to get his boys, went to get his boys. So, are you, which one, are you from Blanche or Tala or any of them ends?
No. I was in Swords.
I'm from Balbriggan, so not too far, yeah. So you weren't involved in all of those.
No,
you didn't
I
have
was never involved,
I've never heard of a Swords gang, imagine.
Nobody
take
them
quite
was
them serious, man.
The only reason people go to Swords is just go airport, man.
Yeah, literally.
Airport and pavilions. That's the only reason I've been there, man.
Speaking of the airport, so I took a flight. I flew to Mani on Friday. I took a day trip to Mani. Went on Friday, came back on Friday. Almost missed my flight.
You almost missed
my flight again.
I don't know how you keep doing this, man.
Bro, you know what it is again, yeah? I caught early fly and I was going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to sleep. You know what my mistake is, yeah? My mistake is chilling but being too comfortable when I chill. Okay. And then I fell asleep, yeah? I get to the airport. My gate closes at 6:25. I get to the airport at 6:25. I made the flight.
This guy.
But so I go to fast track time because usually you can go fast track and just chat to the person like, yo, my gate closed, can you let me through? This guy was like, yeah, my supervisor said no, blah 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 blah. So I had to go around, went to the regular place, chatted to some people, pretty much got to fast track. Now I'm full sprinting in the airport trying to get to my thing. I don't know why 6 a.m. there's bare people in the airport, so I'm dodging left, right. The thing
is, probably not that many people, but because you're late, your brain.
It was dense. Like
at 6 a.m.
I don't know why. Like even I like usually at 6 a.m. you know you can just go through like security. You don't even. I don't even need to ask for fast track, but like there was a line, so I'm like ducking, diving through people. I'm full on sprinting. I trip first in the middle of the airport. You trip in the middle of the airport. People like
Someone would have got the ick. Somebody said your Bezos there should have got the ick.
What happened? Did you just get back?
Bro,
continue running?
Because I slid as well. Yeah, like.
Yo, I can actually just picture that.
you know where the escalator to go like up to like in Terminal 1, the escalator to go up to like Burger King and that is like really literally right there as you like you can go to this way or go that way. So I fall and I slide a little bit on my chest, innit? But I'm late for my flight, so I just pick my shit. I keep running. But yeah, I made the flight.
It's gotta change out to the game, though.
Look, man, I gotta change the game. I don't know what. I used to be so good with flights. I'm so bad recently. I've almost missed every flight.
Have you ever missed a flight?
No, I'm tired of. I'm there 2-3 hours before. Yeah. Even if it's like I'm just going to the UK.
No. See, I don't have time.
And you live in Swords. You can leave 15 minutes before. And so, I'm there right now.
Nah. It's just paying for another flight. It's just like, nah, I'm not.
Just the inconvenience of it. I've actually never been in this situation where I have to pay for another flight. But there was a time in America where I've come back from New York, made it to the airport, whatever. Went to our layover was supposed to be in flipping Portugal. Went to the gate and said, oh yeah, they canceled your layover. I was like, what do you mean they cancel your layover? So we'll be stuck in Portugal. But they said, you know what? Fair play to her because there was a lot of people on that same flight doing the same thing, stressed. She kept her composure. She's like, you know what? I can get you a flight to British Airways. Right now, your layover will be in London instead, and then you can fly home. But then the terminal is like, you know, JFK, massive airport. You actually need to get a train to the next terminal and do all that check-in again, and the flight is in a fucking hour. That's the closest I've been to missing the flight that you're running. I'm like, can you not communicate with them that we're going to be a bit late? They're like, I've done. She's like, basically, I've done all I can do. I don't have the juice like that to tell them, like, wait, run in.
Who are you?
With suitcases, like with my misses, all of that. And then you get there, you're still waiting for another hour. You're like, sometimes you're like, you're grateful, but it's annoying at the same time. But my thing this week is I lost my ring for like 3 days. I'm not wearing it right now, but I lost it for 3 days, and my whole plan was I'm not gonna ever say it until she asks me, "Where's your ring, by the way?" I was never gonna talk about it.
Did you actually?
She didn't. I found it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you find it?
No problem.
Yeah, the problem was gone.
That's why I can talk about it now.
Like it was the oud that I got in Dubai. It has like a gold cap in it. So I must have taken it off and put it on that. So it wasn't visible to the eye. So I kept looking for it. I've looked on that table. It just wasn't visible to the eye. 3 days. So then I was going out to Saturday and I wanted to apply the oud. And I was like, oh, that's my ring. So I wasn't even like anywhere. Because I was like, you know when you're so sure, you're like, I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah. But I don't want to mention it because then I get in trouble and I'm under pressure to find it.
That's like your ring.
Yeah, I have a question for you, actually.
Talk to me.
So when you have your ring on, right, and you're out and you don't have like your wife is not there with you, like, do you find that women still approach you or?
See, if women have never approached me in person with a ring on, like since I've been married, they've never approached me in person. But also, don't do it because the way I'm hearing about this islandy, The way people are moving in Thailand, it's not even like I say this all the time. You will get found out. It's just it's too small of a community, and the places I go to, we all kind of know each other. Everybody knows the situation. So I've never been approached.
Do you think women care?
Do we think women care about being with married men? No, we always say this. I think they see you as more of a valuable commodity because.
Yeah, because I was having this conversation with a work colleague, right, and I was saying that like because I recently got out of a relationship.
Okay.
And I was saying that like I got a lot of traction when I was in a relationship.
Did you announce that you're out of a relationship? How did you do your soft launch? Back in the streets? How did you soft launch on back in the streets?
To be honest, I didn't, but it was just like the people that I was surrounded by kind of knew that I was in a relationship. So
who's the first one to ask? Yo, YEMZ, where's my babe? You know the ones you have to ask. Because if my boy was in a relationship and I'm just seeing her less and less, I'm like, they're fighting. 1 month after, all right, the pics are gone. I'm gonna have to ask.
I know it was like it was a long relationship as well. So like the people like around me knew that okay, he's probably not on trying to date someone very very soon right now.
Yeah,
but like it's more like work colleagues.
Okay,
that were like okay, like what's going on?
Were they putting on you as well?
Yeah, work night parties are crazy. You know yourself.
But so you found yourself getting more traction in a relationship?
Yeah.
But
And like the colleague I was talking to, she was like, she was saying that like when you're with somebody, it's okay, it makes sense. Like you must be valuable. But then like when you're not in a relationship, you're like, okay, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he not? He's good looking. He has all this. Like there must be something.
Oh, there must be like or something. Because I know Whitney Cummings has a joke, and she's like, she finds the good in every man. So she's like, she'll meet a married man, and she'll be like, not scared of commitment. That's kind of like like people when people see marriage, she's seeing a man that's willing to commit. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been back on these streets? How long you back outside?
A few months. It's fresh. Like.
They say it's tough outside. How you like? How long was the relationship first of all? Like
years? It was years. It was like a good 9 years. Like
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a long one. It was a long one.
Why are you back in the streets after 9 years?
No, it was one of those ones like we got together like very very young.
No, I've been in one of those as well. Yeah, I've been in one of those, but.
It was like very, very.
It was I'm guessing at that stage, marriages talks were happening. You're about to go.
Yeah, you're about to sign the contract, everything.
Long-term deal.
And I was like, wow.
How's heartbreak as an adult though? Like you still have to go to your 9 to 5 and work.
Yeah. You still have to like put a face. You still have to.
Like you have to experience that shit. Sometimes I think you have to experience it when you're younger and you can kind of.
But when you have nothing to do.
When you can stay in bed for like the whole.
Yeah, but now you're just like the day it happened as well. Like I literally had calls to jump on like as soon as it happened. I was like.
Well, because sometimes like those situations, like I know there's a day it happened, but there's a build up to it happening.
Yeah,
you know, like there's always like sometimes like it's going to happen, but we just have to pull that cord.
Yeah. Like I knew it was gonna happen.
You can feel it.
Yeah, no, of course. The relationship doesn't end in a day. Yeah. It ends over a period of time, and they just like eventually, And it's a situation where sometimes I hear this, and it's like you just grow apart, grow out of love. Or does that happen?
Yeah, I think like
sorry,
because
I'm asking so many questions.
Yeah, no. Like I think if you're in a situation like I was, where like you got together where you're very young, like your goals and like what you want out of life is completely different to like
You're a whole different person.
Like, do you know what I mean? So, and sometimes like people just kind of generally drift apart.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of like what happened, and I think it's common.
Yeah, it's very
a lot of people go through it. So.
I've said it in the previous episode. I was like, it's learning that people evolve and they evolve at different pace and they adapt and they become a new version of themselves and constantly having to learn to love the person who the person is becoming. Because I'm married now. Like I've met my missus when we were 17, and I see a different person now than I did when at that stage of our lives, and it's always accepting that maybe at some stage she's gonna grow faster than me, and I'll grow like. It's not linear. Always having to find that balance, and that's again, it is tough, and to always be like, okay, this is the version of a person. Have to learn to love this person, and you can fall out of love with a person. I've heard people that fall back into love with people of that situation. So I just want to know if the streets are cold or
the streets
how they're doing now, because all I hear is negative things about the streets at this stage of my life.
To be honest, I'm not even on the streets. Like I'm not even really
outside like that.
Yeah, I'm not outside like that.
But you're trying to. Now, like I guess it's handy for you because you can keep your mind preoccupied because what you're trying to do is become your own business. How's that going?
Exactly. It's going good. Like it's I have a lot of help as well, just from the consulting company I'm with, and like I have a good bit of mentors as well within the space. So yeah, it's going really well. It's great to see it growing, and I like the fact that I am in charge of like what happens within the business, because when you're working 9 to 5, you're working with a company. Like at the end of the day, it's the people that are in the top tier that are going to make the decisions. So my creative side is coming out, and like I'm very much a workaholic, and ideas just pop to me like pretty much 24/7, and I like to see them come to fruition. So there's a couple of things I'm working on, not just like online coaching, but collaborating with some nutrition companies, collaborating with people who are specialized in kind of like the bodybuilding sphere. So I'm getting like a posing coach for my bodybuilding clients. I'm also looking to I'm getting like a marketing manager as well to put me in the face of like where Black people are, because like most of my clients are Black people in Ireland at the moment now. So it's going good.
Do you feel like you probably feel the need to diversify, and you're gonna get like a marketing? Say most of your clients are Black people. We live in a predominantly white country, so to increase your clientele, you're also gonna need to tap into that market. How do you feel like you gonna go about doing it? Because we've talked about it, trying to do it from a content perspective, but sometimes we got feedback from Harry. Shout out Harry, if you mix all our clips, it says sometimes it's better to just double down into your niche and grow that niche rather than trying to. Diversify.
I would definitely agree with that, because like when I first started online coaching, I took on everybody. Like I took on people of different cultures, like some Polish people, Irish people, Nigerian people, and I try to satisfy everybody. But I think when you double down on your niche, it makes you work a lot better, and I think the quality of your work is a lot better, because you're really good at targeting this specific niche and serving this specific level of clients. So. Yeah. I think I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
And plus, what's called is online coaching, so you're not stuck to just Ireland.
Exactly. So like I'm training people in Ghana, I'm training people in the States, training people in India, stuff like that. So like it's that's the great thing about online coaching, is that I'm not restricted to living here. Like I can live anywhere in the world. I can target different people as well, and like through social media, which is like my main form of marketing. I have followers from like all over the world. So I'm not confined to just Ireland here.
Was there a monetary point where you're like, what, I can make that jump from corporate to just doing this, or was it just like for the love of it, or was it like, no, I'm actually making enough money? Because you have to, you come across as a smart guy to me, so you definitely have done all the maths and.
Yeah, most definitely. Like when I first started, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this on the side because I just love doing it, and it gives me a bit of money on the side of it as well, because it's hard out here in Ireland. Like it
says it every week.
It's very hard. So like. I think that passion drove the growth of my business so far, and like I'm at the stage now where like I'm making a lot more than I am making with my full-time job. So it's just now just making sure that I'm set now, but I'm not going to be set in 10 years. Do I have a plan in place for retirement? Like where do I want to see myself in terms of my own career progression? Because I don't want to be just the business owner, the online coach. I want to be able to lead a team of online coaches. So that's where I'm looking at going. So once I have that plan set in place, and once I have my my retirement plan, where I want to live, and kind of the look ahead, that's when you make the transition.
Now, you said you loved science because you wanted to help people. And then as you got into the corporate side, you're more on the business side of science, and you're more removed from the people element. The more you grow and you start to lead a team, and they're going to be on the floor, you're going to be at the business side. How do you not know that the same passion or the same thing that's happened in science won't happen here?
Yeah, so this is where it comes to like, you have to watch who you hire. So I'm not just going to hire any online coach. I'm going to hire people who I know that have the same values as me and who can give the same level of service to me. Because at the moment now, just looking at the market of online coaching, I think the one thing that separates me from all other online coaches is that like I genuinely care about people. Like I genuinely care about your progress, and I think I invest, like if you ask any of my clients, I invest in them a hell of a lot. So I want that standard to be kept whoever I hire. So it's also about that. And like I still will be online coaching, but I'll be kind of like the high ticket coach.
The supervisor, essentially.
Yeah. the supervisor, but then like the high ticket coach, where I would take on like really competitive bodybuilding clients, or like
You'll
people
take on like
who are
Dave or Stormzy.
yeah.
That's who you'll be coaching. You must can coach stage.
You know?
I'm in Dubai coaching the Jenners. I actually had another question. So, how do I get a six pack and maintain the same body? Because look, I was when I first started, I was doing the shakes. I was getting bigger again. I had zero knowledge. I just saw I was a bit skinny, like for my age, and clothes weren't like I was getting gaps in my shirt. I didn't like it. I wanted clothes to feel nice on my body. So I started doing like, you're just YouTubing things, no knowledge, creatine, protein shakes, etc. But then I started getting heavy. But because it wasn't natural, I was gassing out, like even running up the stairs, everything like bah. So I stopped going that method. My missus still today, she's like, I prefer it when you were a bit bigger. But I'm like, I hated it because I couldn't move as quick, or I couldn't do things as quick. But now, like, I'm okay now. But sometimes I look, I was like, I need a defined six pack. I need it to be there.
That's very much achievable. And like time and time again, I've seen clients, they've come to me, similar situation to you. It's like, okay, you bulk, but you feel like you get too fat. Yeah. Or you cut and you feel like you're skinny again, and you're not big. So it's literally just all about education. There's ways to do it, and I think it's time as well. People want to do it very, very quick. They want to do it within a year, but like I look like this, but it's taken me like 8 good years to build up a good bit of muscle mass, so I look big and I can't be lean. So it's just about like being very realistic about your goal. If you want to do it naturally as well. Like,
I should get. You know Oscar De La Hoya, the boxer? He got a 6-pack implant. Did you ever see that?
The implants never look right.
It looks so funny. I was like, what?
It looks fake.
It looks so fake. I was like, bro, you're 50 with a 6-pack like that. Chill, man.
But no, Jordan, man, quick trip to Turkey, man. You sort yourself out.
Because sometimes I do look like after the gym, I'll take a pic and like, I actually like. I don't want to like. I like how I look now, but I'm like, I just want the definition in the stomach to look like you want to see your pics and not your videos.
Think about it, like when I'm in like my off season. So my off season is like my improvement season when like I'm trying to pack on muscle. I don't have a 6-pack when I'm in my off season. Like it's not like you're gonna have a 6-pack 24/7.
So wait, how long is off season?
It depends for me because like I'm a competitive bodybuilder. Is like it would be a good like 7 months to a year.
Oh, so you won't have that 6-pack for 7 months or a year. And then how long does it take you to get back to where you are now?
For me, because I have a good bit of experience like doing cuts and doing like dieting phases, it'll probably take me like 12 weeks.
Jesus. You must be a disciplined individual though.
Yeah, like everything has to be on point. Like the longer, depending on like how you adhere to your plan and how consistent you are, will depend on how long it will take. So I have guys who like cut very quickly and achieve their goals within like 8 to 10 weeks, but that's because they're on it, like they're ticking all the boxes. But then there's some people who want to, go outside and like
get Charlie's,
get Charlie's, get like takeaways, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Alcohol, that's gonna take a lot longer, but you have to be happy with the fact that okay, it's just gonna take me a bit longer because I want to do these other things as well, and that's okay. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you drink as well or?
I'm not a big drinker.
That's fair because I'm trying to get tips here because I do love a cheeky takeaway and a wine on a Friday. Like that's like
this guy will send snaps on a Friday 1:00. That's the weekend.
For me, it's like for me, I have cocktails because they taste nice. Like alcohol to me doesn't taste nice.
Okay.
For me, like if I'm drinking, is that there's a purpose? Okay, I want to get locked, or like I want. It's not because I like to taste.
So those work parties where they're trying to lips you, you're not drinking at those parties, no?
No, not really. No.
That's what he said.
What's good? I was gonna ask about the bodybuilding competition. So how was your first one? Talk us through your first one when you get there.
My first one,
how it felt, all that.
My first one was extremely hard, and me going into it not knowing what was involved was extremely hard as well. So I started off, I think about 90 kilos. And I was only training for 2 years, so naturally you don't really have that much muscle on you when you're like 2 years into training. So I had a good bit of body fat to lose, and I had 8 weeks to do it. So it was like the calories were extremely, extremely low. I was doing like 60 minutes of cardio plus my workouts.
How many minutes of cardio?
60 minutes.
I did 5 today, and my hip actually hurts. I'm not gonna lie.
I think for the last 6 to 7 weeks, I was just doing like 60. I think it went up to about like 90 minutes cardio,
That's
barely any
much.
calories. I think I was on about like 1,700 calories.
1,700 with 60 minutes of cardio.
Yeah, like it was.
This guy
It was
is crazy.
extremely tough. But I went from being like 90 kilos to being 70 kilos on stage. So I was like 20.
Over
kilos.
how much time? Sorry.
Like 8 weeks. So it was. You can imagine, like I was dying.
crazy.
Like, and I said as well, I was doing my PhD at the time as well. So it was final year. Had to submit my thesis. I was in between. Like on my lunch break, I would go to the Trinity gym and I would just do my 60 minutes of cardio. Come back to the lab, go train afterwards, and then like try to get steps in as well. So it was madness. It was crazy, but it was all worth it when I got onto that stage and I was like, oh yeah, jeez, I did this.
Yeah,
Like,
from what I
looking-
hear right now is like you're a high performer, played football at a high level, you have a PhD, so academic, you're doing well, bodybuilding competition, you want to start your business, so that's performing at a high level across a lot of things. What do you attribute that to? Because it must have the mental has to be
Yeah.
good, the emotional aspect has to be good.
So for me, it comes from like family issues.
Okay.
to be honest. Like I grew up alone for a lot of period of time because my mom moved back to Nigeria when I was about like 15, 16, I think. And that's when we were like living in Santry at the time. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to do something to get myself out of this situation. I need to create a better life for myself. And it was either, okay, I just go out with friends and, you know, it was at that stage my friends just started drinking, going out,
Yeah.
just like focus on girls. I was like, okay, I can either do that or I can try and get myself out of the situation. So like, you know, I got a part-time job to fund myself throughout my college. And I just started grinding. I was just like deep into my books, deep into the gym, deep into football, anything I could do to try to get myself out of that situation. And ever since then, it's just been, okay, I can do that. How can I improve myself now? Like, what can I do next? So it's always been like, okay, what's next? I've done this, what's next?
That's actually impressive because at that 16, it's easier to succumb to your situation because you're 16 and a lot of people could be a cop out. We've seen so many, not a cop out, let me not say that, because some people are truly a victim of their environment and the environment they're in really shapes who they are. And at 16, I can understand where someone would be like, you know what? These are the cards I'm dealt. I'm leaning into it. Me too. Let me start going drinking if this is what my friends are doing. F football. But for you now to just be like, take the other part. And Ashley, yeah, fair play to you because I'm hearing like, play for Shelf, play for Drada, did a PhD, do my own business. Obviously, the company you're working for now, leading projects. So I don't know if
A lot of it is
time
passion
like, yeah,
as well.
go on,
Like
yeah.
a lot of these things that I'm doing at the moment, like I enjoy to do. Like I love doing them, and to think of that, like okay, I can make this a career is it's exciting to me. So I just want to put my best foot forward and like do as best as I can in it.
And obviously, speaking from we spoke earlier about the football standpoint where you felt like you didn't have the family support and it kind of was discouraging and it kind of led for you to also I don't want to say the word quit because sometimes you go as far as you can and sometimes you just have to learn. There's always a balance like between quitting and knowing when it's time to let go, and sometimes you don't know that. But with this now, you want to leave your 9 to 5 and you want to go into your own business. How's that then coming across to your family? Are they supportive? Do they understand?
To be honest, I don't think my family cares that much. I think because they know Yemi G he's a go getter. Like he's whatever he does, he's gonna do really well. So I think they have confidence in me in the sense that like if I go into this full online coaching, they know I'm gonna do it at the highest level.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
So yeah, there's 7 of us. So
Okay,
it's a big family, but like the age gap is quite big. So we never really lived together for that long because you know they got older, moved out, started their family and stuff. But yeah.
Because I only asked that because I was kind of thinking with the drive you have, do they only look at the other siblings and say, see what Yemi's
See, that was the thing as well. No, that was the thing. Like, I had a lot of pressure on me because they did extremely well as well.
Oh, okay.
They were like, my sisters did extremely well. Like, my brothers did extremely well as well. So I was like, okay, I need to be on my shit.
Yeah, no, because I have, I was going to say baby sister, but I have a younger sister, and sometimes she says that to me and my brother, like, because I'm also, obviously, in science, he's a software engineer, and sometimes she's like, sometimes I feel like there's so much pressure on me because you guys are perceived to have done well, and my parents would use that as an example. It's like, look at Jordan and Nathan, look what the life they've created for themselves, and this is what you have to do. And so sometimes she says it to me, she's like, I don't like this pressure. I don't like constantly being told like this is what you have to do.
Yeah, you guys set the bar high.
Like,
But we had to. It was just like, oh, you have to go to school.
yeah, I was similar. Like, I have a little brother as well. You probably know him. He looks very much like me.
Probably if I saw him, I'll probably recognize him. Yeah.
But yeah, he's not really academic, right?
Yeah.
But he's so creative, like so creative. He has YouTube. He's very funny. Like, I wish I was that was his level of funny. But I always say to him, like, people have different talents, and you don't really have to succumb to what your siblings have done because they've done their PhD or they've gotten this certain level of education. You just do really well at what you like doing.
Yeah.
And that's how you're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but from his position, that's easy to say when you've done it.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. Like, and
It's not you that's going to put the pressure on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's self pressure as well, and that self pressure is good.
And how you finding the content side of things? Because you're also you're low key a content creator now.
Yeah,
so you have a YouTube, you have you have Instagram. That's your biggest advertising tool now. Your marketing. How you find that side?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. Like, I think I really have a knack for like editing and stuff like that. If you have a look at my content, I'm a geek when it comes to editing.
You need some of that on this team.
Yeah, I enjoy that and like making content as well. Like at the start, you're a bit like apprehensive, a bit nervous about like, what are people going to think of me like in front of the camera, or like when people watch me, are they going to think I'm weird or like. But like the way I see it now is that people actually gravitate towards you if they feel like they can relate to you.
Yes.
And
Authenticity.
if you're open and like you'll see in my content that like I'm not just all like, oh, this is going great, this is what I look like. But it's more of like, okay, what's the reality of what I'm going through now? So like at the moment I'm documenting my competition prep, so I'm showing you guys everything, like in terms of like how I'm feeling, if I have bad days, if I've gone up in weight, if I've like just kind of real life situations, and I think a lot of people can get inspired by that as well.
Yeah, no, sometimes I think it's because I don't know how old you are, but we were like probably the last generation that grew up without social media being a thing. That sometimes we overthink before we post a video, blah, blah. But it's actually so common and so more natural in this society now than we actually think in our brain. Because I actually rarely ever look at someone talking into a camera and think, oh, this is weird. Like my brain never thinks of like, oh, what are they doing? Whenever someone's talking into a camera, I'm like, yeah, this is just what everybody in society does. But I think we saw the side of it before this generation. So sometimes we overthink it. Because I know, like my younger sister's 14. I know she doesn't think it's weird. I know she will just be like, you're supposed to put your phone out and talk into a camera. That's the natural. No, I know, I get you.
No, but we grew up when it wasn't. When people didn't put their real names on the internet.
Everyone has an alien. So I do get why we still think it's kind of like, maybe I'm being corny, or maybe should I say it this way? Should I put out this content?
No, but I also think it's just people are extremely, like, people always put, like, you put a spotlight on yourself, you're extremely hard on yourself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because there's certain, I tweeted it the other day. I was like, there's certain situations where if somebody was telling you about it, you'd be like so empathetic and you'd be like, nah, you're doing your best. But if it was you in that situation, you'd be like, why the fuck did I do that? Like, I'm fucking this up. I'm doing this. People just aren't really kind to themselves. Like, a lot of people just need to actually chat to themselves like they'll chat to their friends. Because like if anybody else chat to them the way that they chat to themselves, they wouldn't talk to that person, or them and that person would beef. But they talk to themselves that way all the time. Do you get what I
hear
mean?
you. You have to give yourself the same grace that you would give someone trying their best, and because you're also trying your best. But at times we think, because we're the main characters of our lives in our head, we think people are deep in what we do more than they actually are. Because for the most part, there's probably 15 people in the world that actually genuinely give a fuck about Jordan. Like my family, my close. There's actually probably like 15 people that like genuinely give a fuck about Jordan. But on the internet, I might do something. I might post a clip. I might be like, that sounds corny. I promise you, for the most part, people are scrolling past and going past it. I'm so critical. So that's why, to your point, like, but I'm so in my head about it. I'm so critical because I think all of these people, like, what am I doing? But if I saw you with a piece of content, I'm not analyzing it. I'm like, that's kind of cool content.
It's what I'm telling, because like I have a group of clients now who are becoming personal trainers, and they're trying to get their business off the ground as well, and I'm kind of like acting as a mentor. And it's the one thing I tell them as well, like, nobody cares. Like, people are more going to gravitate towards you and gravitate towards your business because like you're being real and you're putting yourself out there. I think in Ireland, within the Irish culture, just in general, we're very like closed. We don't like to share a lot. We don't like to put ourselves out there. We don't, like, in the sense, like, we're too humble. We're too, like, we don't like to say, oh, look at what I've done. But I think for you to be able to do something at a high level and to motivate people and to make an impact, you just need to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and I was thinking, just everything is corny until it's not.
No
Like, no matter what you do it it's gonna be looked at as corny for a bit until it's like, oh, just that's the guy that does such and such and just leaves it like that. But actually, the other day I have a scar on my leg that I always forget that is there. But like it's an injury from primary school. I was gonna ask, what's the worst injuries you guys got in school?
Oh, not in school, but I remember in the estate we're doing. You know, when everybody's on bikes. Yeah, I remember it so quick because I was actually traumatized to this day. To this day, we're doing races on the bike. Everybody lines up their bike. You cycle and you go to the finish line. I was on the BMX. I was cycle. The pedal stuck. Bah. Like see this guy here. Yeah. That's where I got it from because you're just, especially this is on concrete as well. So I just, you know, how you stood at the airport. I did that across the tarmac, and it's so traumatizing because when everything it goes quick and slow at the same time. So when a bike flips, you're like your brain is like, oh shit. Fuck. So it's going slow for you, but it probably just went like energy probably. So that's. I wouldn't say it's it's definitely my most traumatizing. I'd say I probably got hurt worse playing football. Like I probably got hit, I couldn't walk for 3 days and I couldn't put pressure. I couldn't put pressure on my foot. I probably got those kind of injuries, but the most traumatic ones that sticks to my head is that one.
Yeah, mine was probably it was in a school football match.
Yeah.
But I dislocated my hip, and it was right before I was supposed to go to France to play football. So it was mentally, it was the toughest thing because I was looking forward to that. I was like, okay, there's gonna be scouts in this at this competition.
Like, this is my opportunity.
This is my opportunity, and I dislocated my hip. Like,
how did you dislocate your hip?
So I was a centre half, right, and slide tackling was a thing that I just loved. Yeah. Even if I knew that, I was very quick. Even though what I used to do, right. So if a forward was chasing ball, I kind of slowed down a bit, right. Knowing that I can beat him for pace.
I need a challenge today.
Knowing that I could beat him for pace, and then I would let him get to the point where he's about to take a shot, and then I slack that thing. So I just love doing that. That was my specialty until the day I did it. And
gotta play smart on the ball. Keep the feet going. What's your worst injury? How did that happen?
What's called? I was at home. My auntie was pissing me off for some reason. I just told me to make a hot water bottle for her. And I was just going, and it literally just all split. It just went all on my leg. I missed school for 2 weeks, and then the second one was, you know those tiny rubber bouncy balls. So we're in school and we're playing dodgeball with it stupidly, and then someone throws it. It hits off 4 or 5 things, and it hits me right in the eye when my eye was open. Yeah, I'm supposed to wear glasses now, but
you don't wear glasses.
Yeah, because fuck that.
Why don't you wear glasses?
Because my eyesight isn't bad enough that I can't see.
Okay.
But it's just
but isn't that going to be harmful in the long run?
You know what? Low-key, I feel like wearing glasses will fuck up my eyesight more than not wearing them.
Would you ever get a laser eye?
I've thought about it, but also, I'm not going to lie to you. If something goes wrong, get me out of here.
Apparently those things don't last as well. You have to come back.
See, all of that. The thing is, I'm very weird about surgery and all these kind of things. Just because I know that there's only a 0.00 chance that something happens to you. Yeah. But for me, that's too high of a chance.
That's Simi. I always think it's going to happen to her. I'm like, brother, 50 people, 500 people went on this roller coaster. What you think is you now? Your luck is going to be
No, but you know what it is, yeah? You know what it is, yeah? You know when something is not bad enough that it's a problem?
Yeah.
It's not like I would stop and I need, I can't see or shit like that. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm in the back of the class, maybe I can't see the board properly, but when am I in class anymore?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's not bad enough that I need to do something about it. So why take a chance when I don't really need it?
Yeah.
But if it gets down there, bro, sign me up.
Fair enough. I wanted to ask you guys this on Wizkid obviously played in concert just there in London.
Yeah, I heard it was
ass. I heard it was actually very disappointing. Do you think, obviously, Burna Boy and Wizkid have been doing this world tour for 2 years now? Do you think we're just seeing them too much now? That it's not giving what it's, because there's no exclusivity feeling, or if I see him now, I'm not going to see him for 3 years. It's just, they're just in our faces all the time now that people were not even bothered buying some of the tickets. But I think my missus and a friend want to give us for free. Do you think they should maybe step back, have us miss them, and then come back again?
I think for us, probably.
Yeah.
Because we're used to them, but I think they're starting to reach a lot more the European
the new audience.
I think those are the people that are buying, because if you look at Burna Boy, was it this year?
Yeah.
A lot of the audience was just Irish people, just white people.
To sell out the 3 Arena, you have to have bare white people.
Yeah. But I think they're reaching that audience, so I think that's why they keep on.
Because before we start recording, someone told me that Burna's releasing another album in a month, and I'm just kind of like, so that means he's just gonna go on tour again and start like it's same process. But maybe you're right because he's doing stadiums in America, so he's reaching an audience beyond
That are
us.
new to Burna,
So
like,
they
people
gotta
already-
want to see him as well.
Also,
yeah.
Burna Boy strikes me as one of those people that just has songs.
Yeah.
Like, just has songs on. Like, you just make, like them Chris Brown types that would drop a 40 track
40.
album just for bands.
Yeah.
Like, I think Wizkid's problem is just that Wiz hasn't been the greatest performer for a while, and also I feel like this album was kind of, It wasn't like, it didn't really shake anything. Like, Made in Lagos was a bang.
Yeah, Made in
Do you get what I'm saying? So people wanted to go to that concert and everything. So now you're doing bigger shows. You're not just doing, arenas are the big ones, isn't it?
Yeah, arenas.
Yeah, now he's not just
stadiums
doing,
and arenas. Yeah.
He's doing stadiums, arenas. Do you get what I'm saying? So like the whole production has to be bigger, and I don't feel like his performance
matches to
is
the
there.
production that
Whereas
is
Burna, on
required.
the other hand, you can see Burna today, tomorrow, the next day. You're not gonna get as bored of it because he's gonna put on the show.
Yeah, he's my
Whereas
top 2
Wizkid-
favorite gigs. Like the first time I saw him, I was so blown away because it's probably the first concert I've seen with like a live band, and it brings so much soul to the. Because I know I've always seen but I've only seen mainly rappers. Rappers it's their DJs and their instrumental, and some rappers it's mainly to do ad libs. Like that's why I know I love J. Cole anyways, but when he did his, he was rapped every song bar for bar, start to finish, and you're like, oh, this is calm. But for most rappers, sometimes it's they're hype men of their own fucking music. You're like, brother, sing your songs, man, do your bars.
You know what? What's called? There's the Burna Boy concert that was in the Tottenham Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, J Hus come out and J Hus pretty much just did ad libs.
Yeah.
Like it didn't slap. But funnily enough, one of my favorite performances that I've been to is J Hus.
Yeah, because when they're more intimate settings and they'll actually do their songs from start to finish. Like, because the feedback I got was like Burna Boy, it felt like the production was bad, like you were saying. Some people were like maybe he was more worried about selling out the stadium than actually putting on a live performance.
Is it about Wizkid or Burna Boy?
Sorry, Wizkid. And he was more worried about selling out the stadium than actually putting a performance. He left kind of early and he didn't even like greet the crowd by. The song selections apparently.
I heard
went
Ujua
out
Legba was
earlier.
second. That's crazy. If I hear Ujua Legba second, I know this is going downhill.
But again, at the time I heard Burna Boy was maybe 2 years ago for the first time. Location was his biggest song, and he came on third. And I was like,
But Location
but
isn't
it
his
kept
song.
going. I know.
I
But
know.
when you put a banger like that
Like,
so early, I was a bit like,
there's a difference when like you can put a banger early, like Drake. When Drake comes out, he puts bangers early because he's got bangers for eons. Like that guy can just keep going banger.
Yeah.
But like Ujua Legba is the national anthem.
the national.
And it's like,
I hear you. You have to. You
you
have
get
to
what I'm
end with
saying?
that. Yeah.
Like,
I think their time is almost done, like Burna Boy.
No, maybe like the point you made is actually a good point because maybe they're just tapping into a new market. Like I might be again. I'm even new into real Afrobeats. I'm only like last 4 years, 5 years most. Burna Boy, like was probably when I started being intentional. Like obviously I've heard all these songs, but that's probably when I started being intentional about Afrobeats, and that was only maybe 4 years ago. So the point you made is probably the best point because they probably keep tapping into new markets. Someone like before we recorded, Plantain was here and he was saying the thing is because they're Nigerians, sometimes when they get that visa, they get that work visa, they have to utilize as much as possible because you have artists like Buju that apparently they couldn't come here, and you have loads of artists that get visa issues so they can't tour. Whereas his point was if you've given Wiz and Burna these work visa now, have to utilize, have to keep touring because what if next time they don't get the visa? Not to say they won't, but that was another point. So I guess those 2 points make sense. I guess if you're gonna tap into a new market and new audience, hey, tour, bro. Do your thing.
Like,
I was just looking at it from our point of view. I feel like they've been non-stop touring for the last 3 years.
like I said it when the tickets came out. Wizkid isn't selling out the 3 Arena.
Yeah, he's not selling out.
Because like, bro, he just performed there. We also saw him 2 years ago.
2 years ago, he did O2 3 times.
Yeah, what's called? I'm pretty sure there was a festival he did as well. If he didn't do,
Did you do Afro
Nation.
Oh yeah, he did Glastonbury. My brother saw my Glastonbury.
He did Glastonbury, like
Afro
bro,
Nation.
It's like we've seen you over and over again, and I always say Ireland is not the place. Ireland is not easy to sell out. There's very few black artists that can sell out Ireland. And I don't know if Wizkid's got, apart from the fact that a lot of black people aren't going to go because we've already seen him. They've just they bought tickets for this show. If they didn't see this show, they saw him at whatever show, or they saw him somewhere else.
And because the album wasn't banging, there's no anthem like when he did Essence and Ginger, you were like, oh, made in Lagos. I want to see this song, but now.
Yeah, exactly. The album isn't really giving what it needs to give like that. So it's kind of like, and also it's not like we've known him as the best performer. Like Chris Brown. If you told me Chris Brown's coming, let me go see Chris Brown because he's gonna dance, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. Whereas Wizkid is like, I don't really feel like there's gonna be a moment that I'm gonna be like, oh my god, unless someone comes out or something.
Yeah, because he's not the best performer, like you're saying, so he needs to do the bangers. Which brings me to the point. Also, there's a DJ, Louis Rigo, class DJ. But the DJ that was playing inside Louis, if you're learning to DJ, and you don't know how to transition song to song, just play bangers, man. Because that guy was embarrassing himself. I have no idea who he was, but there was moments where Louis was like, do you know how Frank Jazz, Hamed were like the first waves of DJs? So we knew of like Louis Rigo was like the next stage, and now you have like T and the boys, So he was doing his thing, he's killing it, song to song. This guy's coming on. I was like, if you're not going to be the best performers, like the Migos, for example, play Versace. At least people can be like, I know this song. If you're learning your craft in DJ, I let everybody land. Learn with bangers. Don't play with songs that nobody knows. Now we're just because if you play a song nobody knows and you transition it well and you cut off the instrumental and you put in 50 Cent singing on that instrumental, you can kind of mess around with it.
I'm not gonna be as mad because there's a banger playing.
Yeah, but if you're still learning your craft, but just play safe. That's all I'll say.
I was at an event and this DJ went from I'm a piano to Justin Timberlake.
But to be honest, I've been to some clubs that Frank Jazz and some of these like big DJs are playing.
Yeah.
Some of the mixes are a bit questionable.
A lot of these DJs have had stickers. And that's why we're saying on the 26th of August, on the 26th of August, so we can avoid this, we have a Spotify playlist. You guys can go in and add your bangers. Like I said, I don't just want R&B, I don't just want rap, I don't just want Afro beats, I want the white bangers too. You know, them ones that if we played it Sweet Home Caroline, whatever was the name of that should be
Sweet Caroline.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Bro, we want to, really embracing the Irish part of our black and Irish,
Yeah, what do you think is the ultimate white people song?
When they get it right, they get it right.
Some of them, it's like when I hear when you're in a pub and Sweet Caroline comes on, you can't convince me that this isn't the best I've ever made. You can't convince me like this. Who made this? I need to shake their hand right now. So 26th of August.
That's too out of a question. Who's the best white artist?
Oh, Ed Sheeran. Have you ever read Perfect?
Ed Sheeran,
Ed Sheeran, man. Perfect. The one with Stormzy.
James Arthur, I think, is really good.
James Arthur is really, really good. Ben Howard, he's good as well.
I have no idea what that is.
Low-key, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but he's trying to be spicy. He's doing songs with T.I.
Are we
Jay-Z.
we're talking like stereotypically white. Oh,
that's like me saying Eminem.
Okay. Then there's no way you get Ed Sheeran. Ed has been in the culture for too long.
But does Justin Timberlake have a perfect?
Sex bucket. No, Mirrors.
Yeah, no. Maybe Ed Sheeran isn't the best. Okay, right. I don't know, man.
And also, Ed is way too much in the culture. He has the shape of you and the shape of you remix.
No,
it's too much in the culture.
He's so good.
I feel like Coldplay, maybe a band. Like they're probably like.
Do you see Coldplay had people in a frenzy to get tickets?
Yeah.
How you go?
No, I'm not.
People were cute. People at work. People stopped working. Laptop, phone. Sold out. Bam. Crook Park. Sold out.
That's what I miss about working in the office. Being able to get tickets.
Yeah.
Because you're already at work.
Yeah, you're already awake. So you don't have to wake up for...
Yeah, but you guys haven't asked my question.
The best white artist. Adele. Has to be Adele.
I was just thinking that, I think it has to be Adele.
Yeah.
I don't know. Amy Winehouse?
Nah, she only has that rehab song, really. Now we know, watch this guy, you haven't made it work. She only has rehab that we know.
Let's go back to black as well. Natalie's hers as well, isn't it?
Who?
No, that's Bruno Mars, never mind.
Natasha Bedingfield has some bangers.
I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't know.
Kelly Clarkson won. First winner of American Idol.
Now you're going to start seeing Avril Lavigne in them, man. Oh,
Skater Boy's a cracker. See, who was a skater boy? He said, see you later. Gwen Stefani. 8 bananas.
Britney Spears?
Toxic is a song. Yeah, Britney Spears. But why are we only naming women?
I don't think that's many.
Man, yeah, elite.
Yeah, like I'm going.
Male artists.
What's this guy? What's this guy that got cancelled? Blurred Lines.
Oh, Robert Thicke. Yes, again, you only know him because he was doing songs with Pharrell.
Yeah.
If he wasn't doing something for Hollywood though, he was even on remember that sketch show Kevin Hart did, The Real Husbands of Hollywood?
Yeah.
He was there with the rest of them.
Yeah. This is hard. This
Yeah,
is
no,
actually hard.
the thing is, sometimes what happens in podcasts, I'll be driving home, I'm like, fuck, I should have said that. But yeah, so before we wrap up, when you're making the final transition now into full time? Do you not have a timeline?
Yeah, so I've given myself a year
Okay.
to do so. And I think that's like, it's more than enough time.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably get it done before that. But yeah, just fingers
Have you
crossed.
started the process yet, or are you gonna start?
Yeah, no, I've
from
started
now?
the process. Yeah. As I said, like I'm working with like a consultancy company at the moment now, so it's about turning my business into like a company. So that's when I'm gonna make that transition.
Yeah, that takes like 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, you would know.
6 weeks.
No, it's about 6 to 9 weeks because the VAT number takes a while. But
Oh yeah, like
the whole-
physically, yeah. You
from
can do that
from start to
yeah,
finish.
Yeah.
Well,
Got my sword.
I think that's us. Anyways, thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. If you
Thanks for
ever
having me, man.
have a time you want to come promote your business or anything, or if you just want to come and chat to the boys about Burner Boy and life, you're always welcome. Plug yourself now before we wrap up.
Yeah, so YEMZ Fitness, follow me on Instagram, YEMZ Fitness _IRE. YEMZ Fitness on YouTube, so go check that out. Weekly episodes are coming out, documenting my whole journey back to the stage. It's going to be a good one.
Would you ever start a fitness podcast or something as well? Or are you just going to keep it short for?
That's in the works.
It's in the works? Okay.
That's in the works.
Vision Lab's always open for anybody. But yeah, for the rest of you, if you've made it to the end of the pod and you didn't like anything we said today, well, you can charge it to the game. Thank you for listening.
All right, peace.